I'm in from Belgium. We have a permaculture farm in a very hilly part of Belgium, where we invite volunteers, international volunteers, to live with us a bit of the land, and and try out how this kind of life works for them. The thing is, we notice that, or we believe that, to be sustainable, we will have to reduce a lot in our consumption. And I think a lot of, especially young people, they're a bit scared of it, or they cannot imagine how it is. So we want to be a place where people can try it out and experience, but also experiment, so they can really feel how it is. They can learn the skills, but they can also start to trust themselves that they can do without sugar, for example. And from that point of view, they can look again at the challenges, and that's a bit our objective. The thing is also, we started as we have this big farm and land, and we wanted to offer at that time people the chance to also use the opportunities here to live off the land. And we noticed a lot of people did not know how to start with it, so we started to be a bit more okay, we will do it like this, and we invite you to join. And we've had a volunteer once who lives in a city, and she's now again living in the city. She's not changing her life, but she says, no, after having been here for 2-3 weeks, it's like everything turned upside down. I see the world as it really is, and I see how artificial we live in the city. And so I mean, it's not that she really changed her life, but it really changed her view on things, and it helped her to judge and to decide. We try to we're on a 4-hectare farm. We have animals like cows. No, we don't have cows. 1 horse and some sheep and chicken and dogs and cats. We have a small garden, but could be big, depends how many we are, where we try to do soil rehabilitating agriculture. So we try to harvest greens from the natural environment around and concentrate it as mulch, mainly in the garden. And so we try to have a very good soil and grow vegetables there for the project. And sometimes we have enough to also give to the poor people in Rons, in the city nearby. So the garden is one thing, but we also do ecological reconstruction. So we work with cob, or we make paint ourselves, and we always have small projects going on, so volunteers can also practice this, because also this, you can read about it, but you should really have done it to dare to do it yourself after. So I think that's the 2 most important things. We make sourdough. We have a bakery, used to even sell to local farms. At the time, we had long-term volunteers who were doing that. No, they're not there, so we don't do it, like selling it, but we also make sourdough bread. We have a mill. We cannot do everything at once, but there's a lot of opportunity here to try. We had a volunteer doing basketry, so we also do a bit of that. Making willow baskets, or we make wooden spoons, or we also we like crafts a lot. Make use the wool of the sheep to make to make wires and then clothes. But there's a lot of opportunity here. We don't do everything, but it's a place where volunteers can find what their thing is and try it out. We often have volunteers who come 1 or 2 weeks, and they say, oh, it's great, we want to learn to build our house and to grow vegetables and to make sourdough bread. And then I have to say, sorry, but you cannot learn. People are very impatient. Or like if you want to make a basket from willow, at first it's like it's all skewed and it does not really work. You need some endurance to really. So we have, especially in summer, we have people coming 2 or 3 weeks. They can participate in whatever is going on. But it's really great to have people who stay even 1 year. They can see the whole season of growing in the garden, and they can try out a lot of different things. We just noticed that we have that kind of feedback, like what I told you earlier of this volunteer who said, no, this really helped me to see clear. We have a lot of these anecdotal things of volunteers who saying, no, really, this is what I needed. This helped me a step ahead. People who come here who say, I want to start a place like this later, but I have to learn. And I then dream, I don't know, that these people go home and they spread the word, or they make it, they multiply it. I don't know. A lot of them just find a mate, and then they start with a kid, and then they need a job, and they end up in the little house. But you have also other ones. So that's short results I see in personal stories. And also these people being here, it helps us to organize activities for the local people, and then it brings them together. We've had people who were here for an activity, started to talk, and then they started the local currency group. This kind of results I see, but it's very anecdotal and local. Well, we're busy already for 10 years. And so we made some evolution already. We live here also as a family. So one thing we sure learned was to limit, to say, okay, this is our place, and sometimes we have to be able to go to our place. In the beginning, it was all mixed up much more. So we sure learned also, like what I said, these volunteers who come for 2 weeks and they want to learn everything. And actually, I'm still struggling with that. Like, okay, then you take out all the equipment to do this and all the equipment to do that, and then they start and they stop and they go, and you just have to clean up everything. And so I'm learning to say, okay, you can do that, you can find it there, and one thing at a time. And first you help me with this, and then I have time to help you with that. So it's there's so much that you can do, and I would like also to write and to save the world and do everything. So that's that stays difficult, but we learned to say no at a certain point. I'm also, and that's also an ongoing process, to structure things so volunteers can find their way themselves. And what works for me very well, it doesn't always work, but sometimes you really get this dynamic of volunteers being busy on their own and really finding their own projects and not just helping with what you're doing, and that's really nice. A very important thing, because a big part of what we do is, like, in the beginning we had like volunteers who would take a bath every day, and I had this thing like, okay, we don't have a lot of rainwater, and and it consumes a lot of energy. And I told her, but she said, no, for me it's very important. And I thought, this is a private sphere, I cannot ask her to do something else. And that we really changed. So now we really dare to say, look, this is how it is here. We have a limited amount of water, and we choose to be like that, because that's one of the experiences you can have here. And so now I dare to say, no, that's how it is. But it also comes with it is then very important to communicate very well from the beginning what people can expect here. Otherwise you have disappointment or issues afterwards. So this is 2 big lessons: to dare to say, look, this is what we are, and to communicate clearly about it from the beginning. We've had a period when we had a lot of really long-term volunteers who would say even 2 years. That was really good. At the moment, we have no long-term volunteers. And then for us, even, it's hard to continue. It's the sustainability. So I'm working on, as I said, more structures like that. There's a roadmap, manual, guidelines, and things like that for here. And I would also like for the volunteers that there is some kind of digital platform where they can explain the thing and the stories. And I know that where I handed in the project, I said, oh, but having like a website for it or a blog, that's very old fashioned. There are different ways. You should ask young people how to do it, and I don't know. Yeah, but I would not do this if I would not think this is the best way to do it or it's the best I can do. I've been thinking, look, I should be more politically active or um, yeah, write things or whatever. But it's so frustrating to call out in the dark and nobody listens, you know. And this is what I'm good at, working with young people and helping them to experience. And so for me, this is the best way I found until now to do it. But I would not say everybody has to do it like that. Very diverse. There's people coming here who just gave up their house and their work and they want to start biking around, and it's their first stop. And there's other people who either come from school or they're working and they just take holidays and they go back to their life in the city, and it's just the first taste of something. And some people learn a lot from the other volunteers here, and some learn very practical things here, like, okay, no, I learned I don't know how to grow up plants, and others learn just it can be just very funny to make music together and not to watch movies every evening. And it's so diverse. That's difficult to say. Yeah, well, basically it used to be mainly experiential learning. It's like there's a place here we don't need to make a living from the vegetables, for example. So you can try and you can fail, and it's allowed to fail here. And we have books and other people you can talk to. So yeah. But some people are not ready for that, or they and then they just help and they just participate, and we talk about it and while working, and we just work together.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's basically the two ways to do it. But for me personally, I really like I really like experiential learning, and I really like to offer young people this opportunity to try and to fail and to yeah.
Yes.
And that's why I
Yeah.
say, and I think also I want to add a bit more of this reflection to it, like to think then about, okay, what would this mean for my life? Can I do this at home? No. Why? Should the world change? Can you change the world? And if not, and so on. I would like to do a bit more of that. So then that adds reflection to it. So there's working together, experiential learning, and reflection. The motto of Boskanter is "Taste of another life," and that's actually what we offer. So, and I hope it gives hope to people. So yeah, that they, for me, I was at a certain point like that. I see a way. I was like struggling and it doesn't make any sense. And now I see it does make sense. So there is a way. There's hope. My biggest dream, the very big dream, is that the world would suddenly, change. But yeah, the smaller dream is that there would be a group of people, a more continuous, group of people here in Boskanter who is smoothly working and then inviting other people as short-term volunteers all the time, and that it becomes more of more constant team. For the moment, we are like always starting and stopping a bit, and there's some kind of breaks, at least in the energy or in the continuation. So yeah, that's my dream, to have a bigger team around it here, and not just our family.